Hey, what's up? It's Hobart. Welcome to my second video in a long time, Android University. And this time around, it's not necessarily Android related, but it's something that you could use with your Android, and I think you'll be super pleased with once you find out what the difference is between them. What I'm talking about is these in-ear monitors. Now, a lot of you probably seen artists on stage use these. They put them in their ears, the cord goes down their back, and there's a little box that they have on their waistband. That is an in-ear monitor. That is so that they can hear themselves, whether it's the other instruments in the band or the vocalist, while they're playing on stage. Because believe it or not, when you're playing on these big stages, you can't hear anything. You can't hear anything but racket. I'm in the radio business. I have been for 20 years. I've been on stage a lot of times with bands, and it sounds horrible. So that's why they wear them. Now, it used to be back in the day, they used these real big speakers that were on stage. You'd see them up front. Those were for the same reason, so that they could hear the other instruments in the band. But now we've gotten, real high tech, and they go in the ears. They're custom built for their ears. They go from several hundred to several $1,000s. So nobody can afford that. That's where these come in. I did a lot of research once I found out what in-ear monitors were, how they compared to regular earbuds and headphones. Now, over the last 18 years of being in radio, I have used Sony Professional, Sony Studio, Sennheiser, you name it, I've used it. And until I found these, I thought that all earbuds were the same. Samsung earbuds, they come with the Galaxy phones, Skull Candy earbuds, Apple Air, or whatever they're called, Airbuds. I'm not an Apple guy, I'm an Android guy, as you can see. So I thought, hey, earbuds and earbud. No, not even close. I want to give a shout out to Bad Guy Good Audio Reviews. He's the one who helped me finish my research by giving me a good video on the ZS10 that I could use to make my decision. And that was that he's a very knowledgeable audio guy. He put the graph up there. These have a V graph, so the bass comes up, it goes down a little bit for the mids, and then back up again for the highs. And I really like that because IEMs can be tuned different ways. So out there right now in the $50 to $100 range, or even $25 to $100 range, you're going to see a bunch of different IEMs, a bunch of different companies you've never heard of. A lot of them probably owned by Linsol, who owns KZ and a few other brands. And they're doing something that a lot of people that would be paying for the real high dollar IEMs would be getting. And that's called a balanced armature driver. Now, a balanced armature driver, those were originally for hearing aids. They needed to be speakers that were really small and really clear, and they've now morphed into IEMs, or in-ear monitors. Now, if you were to get a professional set with, the custom molding of your ear done with one dynamic driver and one balanced armature driver, you may be paying $500, $600, $700. If you're going to get something with 3 or 4 balanced armature drivers, you're going to be paying in the thousands of dollars, $1,500, $2,000. These, one dynamic driver, 4 balanced armature drivers for under $50. Now, I did a lot of research, months of videos, months of articles, months of learning the differences between them, and this is where it kept pointing every single time. These are the ZS10 Pros. So they have the ZS10s. Supposedly they're not as good. They're kind of muddy in the water with all the other guys. The ZS10 Pro is where it's at. As you can see, professional, 1 dynamic, 4 balanced armature, high sensitivity treble, and powerful dynamic bass, and they do. Okay, these are great for a replacement for standard headphones if you like the way they sound, because they sound so good. They're not flat, they're not tuned for just bass or just treble, they're right in the middle. Now, as you can see back here, we have a 3.5 millimeter jack. You've got the new C pin is what they're calling it, and that's basically, I'll show you, 2 pins covered by a covering, and then the IEMs have a recessed 2 pin. So there's different connections that you can get on IEMs, and this is one of the newest ones called the C pin. 30 ohms, you can see the rest of the information on here. This is the box. You can see when you get them, they're right there. You've got 5 speakers in each, 4 balanced armature drivers, 1 dynamic driver. There's not much in here except for a cord and some instructions, so no need to open that. Speaking of cord, this is the dreaded brown cord that comes with KZ and some other branded IEMs. Linsol seems to like these. They say it's upgraded, but it's just kind of ugly. It doesn't sound bad. It's the IEMs are amazing. These don't sound bad. They sound good. But they tangle really easy. So you're always trying to get the knots out of them, hence why I have a zippy tie or a bread tie on there to keep them like this. They do tangle really easily, so I went and bought myself the upgraded cable. As you can see here, this is gold and silver braided. This is the connection type I was telling you about. You can see it's got 2 pins, but some of them out there, the older connections, don't have that plastic covering on there. It's just 2 pins, and you have to be careful. This has got a little bit of a covering on it, and they're recessed into the IEM. So this is what the new cable looks like. As you can see, it's braided gold and silver. It is much softer, okay? It does not tangle as much. You got yourself a stainless steel piece here to join the two. It's a 3.5 millimeter connection, gold plated. More heavy duty than the one that came on here, which has just the 90-degree plastic one. So I upgraded the cable. This is the box that it came in. It is the KZ gold and silver mixed upgraded cable. I got it for like 13, 14 bucks on Amazon. KZ Acoustics, it comes in there. It's about 3 or 4 feet long, which is okay if you're listening to your phone in your pocket, but here in the radio station, I have to plug into the board, and I need a little bit more than that. So I had to get myself a longer cable adapter to be able to plug into the board and not, be stuck sitting straight without one head movement, or I'd pull it out of my out of the jack. So here is what the KZ ZS10 Pro looks like. Stainless steel face. Says something on there. 10 hybrid technology is what it says. 10 hybrid technology. So basically there are 1 dynamic driver. Okay, that's that round one right there. 1 dynamic driver. And then in here you'll see silver boxes. And those are your balanced armature drivers. There's one right there. See that silver box? Okay. That's where your balanced armature drivers are. There's 1, you can see 2 of them right there. 1, 2. So those are the other speakers. Hence why they were in hearing aids. They're real small. They sound good. Balanced armature drivers are tuned for specific frequencies. So you've got 4 different speakers at specific frequencies giving you the mids and the highs, while you have this dynamic driver giving you the lows, all inside this earbud. It's a sweet looking earbud. It's clear so you can see in there. This is your pin connectors. As you can see, it's recessed in there. If I take off the earbud or the foam tip, see if I can get it off. Come on, buddy. There you go. You can see that there is a screen on there. Keep the earwax and dirt and stuff out of there. So what's the difference between these and an earbud? Why should I buy these? Well, first of all, you're going to pay a lot less. I mean, I'm seeing those AirPods and the Samsung Buds out there for 100, 200 bucks. That's ridiculous. These are under $50 on Amazon. Okay? And these are going to give you 10 times better sound. It's like as if you were just sitting there at the concert, standing right in front of the speaker. That's how good it sounds. The first thing I listened to was the new Tool album on these, and oh my God. The sounds you hear, the frequencies you hear that you don't get out of a standard earbud is tremendous. Then I tuned into some of the older Tool, and I was hearing noises and sounds and things that I'd never heard before, and believe me, I've listened to a lot of Tool over the years. So that's what an IEM is. It is not an earbud. It is totally different than an earbud. It is high quality, hi-fi sound in your ears. So I highly suggest that you go and get yourself some IEMs. Save yourself the research, save yourself the trouble. Go and get the KZ ZS10 Pros if you're just listening for entertainment, or you don't need to be in a band where you need to hear a specific instrument. In that case, these are still great. But if you want to get something tuned more for bass, or more for vocals, or more for drums, or more for guitars, then you'll have to do a little research and find out which one's right for you. But these overall, all arrows are pointing to the KZ ZS10 Pros in every video and every one of the articles I watched. So save yourself the trouble, do what I did, and go ahead and get some of these. You can get them for under 50 bucks. All right? Appreciate you joining me today. My name is Hobart. Thanks for joining me on Android University. If you like the videos, please subscribe and hit the like button and tell your friends about it. And I hope you have a great rest of your day and your weekend. Talk to you later. Bye.